Howdy, 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 my name's Anachi Sasuke, and welcome to Hiveswap Friendship Simulator Volume 1. So I was going to do this on Friday, but there wasn't enough time because they didn't put it on Steam until like 3:30 p.m. for me, and that's about when my weekend starts. So, this is basically a dating simulator starring the MS Paint Adventures guy on Alternia from Hiveswap, to my understanding. But it's not quite dating because it's friendship. Okay, I like that it does that. Friendship, 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 friendship. Okay, so, let's start. You have just crash-landed on a planet called Alternia and staggered from your smoldering wreckage of your ship. You are now completely alone in a strange world. Also, this game has the ability to just do the text automatically. I turned that off so I could read it. Desperate for information, for provisions, and possibly a bit of medical attention. But most of all, you are desperate for friendship! Want somebody on this godforsaken rock be your buddy? Any weirdo will do. You're not that picky. Hang on, what's this now? Someone approaching? Let's see. Normal Hiveswap gives you a guide, so we're gonna start with Ardata, and then I'm gonna do Damien's, Diamond? Hot Dog Dude. I'm gonna do his run afterwards. I'm gonna do both of them, but this episode's gonna be focused on Ardata, and we'll see whether or not I finish her whole path in this one episode. I don't know. Yes, someone is approaching. A strange, gray-skinned alien clad in blue. Perhaps they will make for a good friend. What is all this shit? Oh, well, let's save the game. Dear God! And just what are you supposed to be? Your stammering reply eventually conveys that you are a lost traveler, who is hungry and probably in some need of medical attention. You're also really lonely and wouldn't mind making a new friend right about now. Oh! Oh my, And then she just goes into evil laughter that only closes one of her 3 eyes. Oh, how funny this is! How very droll! You want to be my friend? Well, there's a lot of eyes in there. Well, it's only like 3. So I guess her thing is just 3 eyes. It's too much. This thing at my doorstep. Well, I guess it's not all eyes. Wishing to know me in any capacity. The hilarity somehow escapes my ability to capture with maniacal laughter. How rare! You apologize for your presumptuous request. You hang your head, turn around, and begin to walk away. And just what the fuck do you think you're doing? I guess this has cursing that Hiveswap doesn't. Who invited you to leave? That's not how invitations work. You stop in your tracks obediently and turn to face her again. You're possibly broken, ribs are throbbing in pain, but this does not strike you as the right moment to exhibit weakness. It dawns on me that we may have gotten off on the wrong salter pod. Where are my manners? Ghastly behavior on my part. After all, it isn't your fault you seem to be some sort of hideous freak, is it? And such a tragic creature cannot be held responsible for such a devastating shortfall of social competence. I would weep for you, really, except that crying out of 3 eyes at once gets a bit messy, so instead I think I'll be saving my tears for someone less offensively worthless. You aren't sure if she's inviting you inside, or if she just got you to stay a little longer so she can insult you some more. You try to remain stoic while your confrontational new friend decides what to do with you. Unfortunately, you sniffle slightly. Oh. Oh my, oh dear, you're sad? more like tsundere laughter. So amusing to me. Mildly endearing, even. I don't think tsundere is the word I want. Perhaps I'll decide later if it's endearing. Once I have more information, it's entirely possible I will retroactively decide it's disgusting. But for now, try to put yourself at ease, you completely pitiful fool. Not one more sniffle. I don't really know how to read that many eyes in a row. Eyes don't really elongate. Not when they're, short eyes. You nod, while practicing exemplary control over your nose. Unlike me, because I have the sniffles, because allergies suck. You've gotten yourself so agitated, I wonder why. You have nothing to worry about from me. Of course I will be your friend. Conditionally, I mean. There is a chance the designation will be formalized if you behave in ways that I approve of. Starting now. Let's call it a friendship in progress. Agreed, as she winks with 2 eyes. That is so weird. Your heart swells. This is what you've been waiting for. A new friend. Oh, gosh. All you have to do is try not to fuck anything up at all. Possibly for many hours. Many hours. come into my hive. This way, after me. You look like you could use some nourishment. I don't know what it is that whatever you are eats, generally. But it doesn't matter. You will eat whatever it is I have on hand, if I tell you to. How does that sound? How does it sound? It sounds fine, I guess. Get the fuck out of my face and never come back. What? Rejection! How far back is this going to send me? Did it just... I'll be back when I get back to that point. Oh, okay, there's a fast forward button. That's groovy. I was all set to edit it out, but there was a fast forward button. Never mind. Obviously, it sounds good. You will definitely enjoy it. But I should probably save the game in case it... And this looks exactly like the kind of save setup that freaking Doki Doki Literature Club has. This looks exactly like that. You will enjoy everything I provide you with and tell you to do. I can't imagine any sort of negativity or disagreement coming from one of my friends. I will assume that we share this philosophy when it comes to friendship. You say yes. Oh yes, absolutely. You nod as enthusiastically as you can without aggravating your broken ribs. You consider giving her a thumbs up as well until you realize one of your arms is probably broken too. You'll try to make sure she doesn't notice though. It'll probably leave a bad impression. Come with me, there's something I need your help with. And now we're in her house. You follow her into her hive. It's a bit gloomy in here. You suppose she's going to fix you something to eat soon as promised. You pass through her kitchen and out the other side to another room? Okay, you guys' dinner can wait. This way, try not to let any of your broken limbs slow you down. A good friend wouldn't allow such trifling physical ailments to cause me any inconvenience. Oh, so you guess she does know you're injured. Fair enough. You hobble a little faster through another door into a much darker room and now down a flight of stairs. She sounds like a terrible person. I don't really want to be friends with you. Also, your faucets are horns, which is weird. It's hard to see. There are torches along the walls ahead. A monstrous noise rumbles below. Don't mind her. She's just hungry. She's always hungry, though. What's that? You're hungry, too. I've not forgotten. What sort of piece of shit friend do you take me for? You seem like a pretty piece of shit friend, I'm not gonna lie. You got hooks. And you got horns for faucets, and a horn for a refrigerator door, and I can only assume you also have a giant ravenous spider, because to be honest, you're just like... You're pretty much Shitska 2.0, just saying. You didn't remind her you're hungry, you thought it though. Can she read your mind? You hope not, that's gonna make this friendship in progress a bit awkward. Here we are, this is where you will be most useful to me as a friend. Let's see, there's a picture of her. There's a picture of something else. There don't seem to be any more decorations made of horns. You look around. With a sense of relief, you see no sign of whatever hungry thing was grumbling down here. You are less relieved to see several other kids trapped in cages of various shapes and size. One of them makes eye contact with you. The boy is the same kind of alien as her, horns and all. He has a dark red symbol on his shirt. His expression seems to plead with you. He struggles to say, "Help!" Your new friend looks unamused and twitches her finger. "Help low," he says. Help low. By which, I mean, hello, of course. Looks like you're the new friend in progress chosen by the great and powerful Ardata. She's my savior, my reason for being. I'm nothing without her. I'd hollow myself out and let her make a nest inside me if she'd permit it. You turn away from this boy. You don't want to hear anything he has to say ever again. Don't mind him. He's always regarded himself as a comedian. Come over here. This is what I need your help with, if you're going to have any value to me as a friend. You're led to a dank corner of this, well, you're gonna call it like you see it, this dungeon. Your new friend is a dungeon full of sad, suffering children, and presumably a monster lurking somewhere in here as well. It's not ideal. Then again, social beggars like you can't be choosers. I've been having an awful time with it. You can do it for me, it will save me time. You look at the thing in question. You doubt she's been having an awful time with it. You doubt this because it's still in this box, looking completely untouched since it was brought down here. It's a box containing a table? A table that looks ominously like it was designed to keep a person strapped to its surface. I will need you to assemble it. Was it from IKEA? IKEA torture devices. Gotcha. Here's a screwdriver in case you need it. I'll assume the other tools are contained within the box. You take the screwdriver with your non-broken arm. This isn't exactly what you had in mind. You don't know what you had in mind, really. A warm meal and friendly banter, perhaps a sling for your arm and a remedial balm for your ribs. Still, you open the box without protest. Hold on, before you start, this will make for excellent content. My fans will appreciate this. She moves. She sets up a video recording device on a tripod and points it at you. A video feed comes to life on several monitors just behind you. You see in one corner of a screen an unflattering angle of your torso hunched over the furniture box. Other rectangles contain shots of the other kids in cages around the room. You suppose cameras are pointing at them too. You had no idea this friendship came with the perk of instant stardom. Now you may begin. She's suddenly sitting in a comfortable-looking chair facing you and holding a chalice, swishing around some viscous liquid it contains. You have all the parts spread out on the floor, organized according to their labels and the instructions. You try to remember the last time you assembled something like this. You don't recall enjoying it? To be perfectly honest, this doesn't look like it'll be fun at all. She frowns conspicuously. Oh, how sad for you. I'm sorry, is this activity not to your liking? You reassure her vigorously that, no, it actually looks amazing. You love shit like this. It's what you were born for, you say, as you swoosh the screwdriver around, demonstrating your plainly evident skill with a tool. Forget that thing you just thought. Completely arbitrary and wrong thoughts pop into your head all the time. It meant nothing, you swear. Yes, I hear that a lot. You are so terrible. Continue. You open the little bag full of screws. Jesus, there are like 50 screws to this thing. Where could most of the screws possibly even go? Judging from the picture, the table doesn't really seem that complicated. You look at your screwdriver, then study the screws. Every single one requires an Allen wrench. Does this thing even come with an Allen wrench? The instructions seem to suggest it does. You look around, but you don't see one. Did you open the bag too forcefully? Did the Allen wrench go bouncing off into a dark dungeon crevice nearby? Maybe you lost some of the screws too. Damn it! You begin to sweat and you look around nervously. Check underneath one of the parts. No, it's not under there. You grip the screwdriver a little tighter. You wonder what to do next. Just do your best assembling the table? You decide it will be best not to complain about the missing Allen wrench. Your friend would probably consider it bad form. You'll just make do and twisting all the screws by hand as best you can. Your broken arm isn't making this any easier. You favor the other one and prop pieces into place precariously, leaning against each other, while you nudge them into position with your legs so the screw holes align. It's really frustrating work, you're not gonna lie. As you were twisting in the first screw, the groove slipped and the screw gets stuck. But you've already turned it in too tight. Now it's hard to get it out. Twist in reverse harder. Your fingers slip and the table pieces start to slide. They're gonna fall. You react to catch them, but it's too late. The heavier piece tips over and slams you in the broken ribs on its way to the floor. Hits the floor with a bang. The stuck screw pops out and goes bouncing 10 or 15 feet away, settling deep underneath a piece of dungeon furniture. God, you're gonna probably need to get that. You hear a light chuckle. Good. Good. She takes another sip from her chalice and settles even more comfortably into her chair. Is she enjoying this? You think she's enjoying watching you struggle to put this stupid thing together, maybe a little too much. Nevertheless, you continue. A friend is a friend, and you don't like to let your friends down. You've committed yourself to this project. You will get the screw from under there a little bit later. Maybe when you need the final screw, you turn your attention back to the table pieces and then try a different way. You place the biggest part, the table platform, flat on the floor. The legs would be pointing upward if they were attached. You position one leg in the right spot, in alignment with the holes. Sit on the table platform and steady the leg with your feet. Grab another screw and concentrate! As she laughs again. She sounds so pleased. It's strange you admit for watching this sort of activity to make someone so happy. But you have to admit to taking a certain pride in it. It's wonderful, actually. To feel useful, wanted, important even. If only somewhat meaningly to a great new friend who has discovered a way for your talents to improve her life. Out of the corner of your eye, you notice one of the cage kids reaching out with his hand. He's concentrating. Then you notice the screw you lost slowly slide out from underneath its hiding place. Nice! Everyone's working like a team down here. Oh, the other picture was her. She is being raised by a spider. Ardata does not look at the kid, but sneers a bit. She reaches towards him and he appears to have trouble breathing. After a moment, you notice the screw slowly slides back under the thing. She releases him from his breathing problems, resumes her pleasant expression, and takes another sip from her chalice. You guess that was against the rules? You decide to make a note of it. Your friend runs a tight ship down here. You respect that. Did we finish the table? About an hour later, you have all 4 legs on, plus some other accoutrements attached. You wrestle mightily with the thing to get it upright, using your only good arm. It seems she may have forgotten about the final missing screw. You doubt the table needs it. You decide you won't bring it up if she won't. You give it a test. It's pretty wobbly since you were only able to tighten the screws with your bare fingers, but, again, she doesn't seem to mind. She reclines and has a look on her face which makes her appear absolutely enamored with your handiwork. She has finished her drink, and the chalice is on the side table. Some awful-looking thing crawls along the floor towards her. It looks like some sort of spider the size of an average dog. Its abdomen is preposterously large. Actually, you think it's a huge tick. That's what it looks like. It just settles just in front of her. She puts her legs on top of it and crosses them. It nestles under their weight and grumbles. Let's try it out, shall we? You shrug and sit down on the rather rickety table. You're about to lie down, but she interrupts you. No. You fool! You absolute fool! What do you think you're doing? That's not what I meant. Get up. You stand up, embarrassed. Again, without looking at the cage kid, she raises an arm towards him and beckons. He stares blankly and opens his own cage, which apparently wasn't locked? He shovels vacantly over to your table and lies down on its surface. She looks at you expectantly. You aren't sure what to do. What? You didn't think I'd be playing table stickball on that thing, did you? You aren't sure what table stickball is. Oh, you really are pretty simple, aren't you? It's like a miniature version of arena stickball, played on a table. Got it? You don't, but you nod. Now get to it! It's hard to do her shitty laugh with a stuffed nose, I'm sorry. You shackle the kid's arms and legs to the table. That seems to be the right thing to do since the thing comes fitted with shackles. She gets up and lifts her huge tick-like pet. It makes more grumpy noises. She plops the enormous thing right down on the kid's chest. He appears rendered unable to protest. The tick bites the boy's neck and begins to feed. She smiles and pats its swelling abdomen. Dark rust-colored blood dribbles from the place where it has attached to the boy's neck. Moments go by while she looks gratified by the process. Proud, almost. Then she looks at you expectantly. Well? You don't know what she means. The final screw. Aren't you going to retrieve it and screw it into wherever it needs to go? The job isn't done. I don't keep the company of many individuals who leave things unfinished, you know. Of course, what were you thinking? You should have known your friend wouldn't actually let that go unnoticed. Actually, you feel like an idiot for thinking it would. You stoop very low to the ground on your knees, placing your cheek just above the floor. You peer under the large edifice. It's dark in there. And it goes back a ways. Lots of room for that darn little screw to roll. You take a few pitiful swipes with your good arm, but come up empty. It must be further back. You think you can see it? Yeah, that must be it. Just a little further. You have an idea. The tool would be helpful. Guess the screwdriver will come in handy after all. How does she know? Your new friend must be very wise. You think you're liking her more every minute. I'm very not. You grab the screwdriver, feel around with it. Yes, you got it, you think. You carefully scrape it closer to yourself and then pick it up. You then go to the table and find the one remaining hole left unscrewed. You slide under the table as a mechanic would with a car. There it is! The table's creaking and wobbling quite a bit now. The tick is really getting into its dinner, it seems. All the loose screws of the table have added up to a lot of give and leeway in the overall stability of the furnishing. Maybe the final screw will help. Ardata has returned to the setup with the monitors, and she's adjusting some settings on the feed, controlling the zoom of the camera and typing some remarks into a chat window. Shitty laugh, trademark. This is very good material today. It's not often that I can provide content of this caliber to my subscribers. Go on, complete your project. This'll be very good. You still think it's weird that she likes watching you put furniture together so much, but you're not one to judge friends. Sounds like a great way to lose friends, honestly. You screw in the final screw, but the stresses on the table are causing the holes to be misaligned. This won't be easy. The huge tick shifts his grotesque body above you, causing the table to creak loudly. You nervously slide it halfway out from under the table to check it out. Then a loud pop, then the sound of scraping metal. 6 or 7 screws shoot out from shoot out of the desk like rivets in a sinking submarine. What a piece of shit this thing is, you think a little too late. You really needed that Allen wrench. All 4 legs splay dramatically out from underneath it at once like a baby deer on ice. The table platform comes crushing down on your lower torso, breaking your pelvis. You bellow out in pain and flail to pull yourself out. You forget that you're still holding the screwdriver, and you're desperate flailing, you plunge the screwdriver into the fat abdomen of the tick, which begins gushing rust blood with great force, spraying your entire upper body and face. I'm just gonna save, because, The The bee starts thrashing wildly and screaming. You can't see your new friend due to the blood in your eyes, but you can't imagine she's thrilled about what's going on here. Your annihilated pelvis is in perfect agony. You have to get your miserable torso out from under this shitty table. You have an idea. With your broken arm, you start slapping the big ass of the screaming tick while yelling, "Yeehaw!" You clutch the screwdriver handle with your other hand hard. Did she just run away? The blood-gushing monster starts kicking and rearing, then blasts off across the dungeon floor like a pig at a rodeo. You hold on for dear life, still blind. But your plan works. You've been pulled out from under the tomb you've spent the last hour constructing for yourself. She's still running. Your pelvis is in ruins, but at least you're free now and riding like the wind. As you and the blood-spewing tick go tearing around the room, crashing into stuff, you hear a boy crying. There she goes again. You guess Ardata became distracted enough by your foolish way to cease her paralyzation method on him. Or maybe distracted is the wrong word? Maybe she's disappointed by your foolishness. Oh god, you might be blowing it right now. The dick swerves suddenly and starts running up the stairs. Ow, 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 ow. Your brittle pelvis feels every step on the way up. It careens through the door of the hive, crashes through the front door, then comes to a sudden halt. You're catapulted violently over its backside and sail 50 yards through the air. Am I outside again? You land on your ass and wipe the blood from your eyes. Okay, this was embarrassing. But everyone makes mistakes, right? You can still salvage this friendship, you know you can. You turn back to look at her hive. Ardata's standing in her doorway with a furious look on her face. She's flipping you off. You will not be my friend! Rejection! There weren't really many other directions that could have gone in. The only other thing I can do was say no to building the shitty table. And since I just saved over the save file that skipped all that dialogue, I won't have to skip through this again. Blah, 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 blah. Pick the shitty woman. Skip. Okay, sure, I'll do whatever you say. Go. Get the hell out of there! First you clear your head and try to think innocent thoughts. Fluffy clouds in the sky. Ironing some clothes. A winning touchdown pass from the sports. Ardata's long black hair spilling over her cloak. Wait. These are not innocent thoughts! Shut it down! Shut it down! There's no time for thinking, you have to act! You hurl the screwdriver at her and run! She calmly lifts a hand towards one of the kids in the cages. The kid tenses up and lifts a hand in the direction of the screwdriver. The screwdriver freezes mid-air right in front of Ardata's head. You run up the stairs. She twitches a finger, the cage kid does a full body spasm, and the screwdriver goes sailing towards you. It stabs deep into your leg and you buckle over, tumbling backwards down the stairs. You're a crumpled heap at the bottom of the stairs, bleeding, and you think your arm is broken in 2 places now. That didn't seem very friendly to me. Luckily for you, I'm very determined to make this relationship work. Even once with people who flee simple furniture assembly projects. How was that the right thing to do? Why was that the right thing to do? She stands over you. You attempt to pull the screwdriver out of your leg, but your entire body locks up. You can't move. She holds an outstretched hand just above you. You shouldn't try to move yet. And you certainly shouldn't try to pull out that screwdriver. You'll get blood everywhere. To my 3 little eyes, under the present conditions, it seems to me that only one of us should attempt walking up these stairs. You feel relieved. Perhaps she has some alien means of levitating you up the stairs? Wait, no. Your body's tensing up again. It's moving without your permission. You get to your feet without taking the screwdriver out. Wow, that hurts. What is she making you... Wait. What? She can't be. You use both of your arms and all your strength and pick her up entirely. The pain from your arm is excruciating. Arms with broken bones are not meant for heavy lifting. The additional weight on your wounded leg isn't great either. You hold her as a groom would hold a bride. She wraps her arms around your neck to hang on to you in what strikes you as an overly familiar manner. She's looking directly into your eyes and grins. This is better. Now onward and upward, new friend. Wahahaha! Fuck you! Good God! She is so terrible! Your legs begin to operate without your consent. They wobble and struggle under the weight, the wound throbs. You lumber back up the long flight of stairs, carrying her all the way. Yeah, you get the hell out of my arms. You take her back to the kitchen and set her down in a chair seated at a table. You didn't think I'd forget about dinner time, did you? I mean, kinda. Let's put your unfriendly behavior behind us. It's a good thing for you that I'm benevolent enough to overlook disgusting acts of betrayal. You may have noticed I keep several friends in my hive who I've similarly forgiven. Consider the transgression blood beneath the abattoir. You exhale. Now that she mentions it, yes, you are hungry. Maybe a warm meal will lift your spirits and get this heretofore turbulent friendship back on track. Maybe we'll even get the chance to pull the screwdriver out of your leg. You pull up a chair and attempt to sit down, but your legs lock up and then you stand again. Apparently this was not the right thing to do. Oh, but why are you sitting? There's cooking to be done. You stagger mechanically over to the fridge and open it. You pull out a large hock of some sort of alien mystery meat and put it on the counter. With your broken arm, you reach in anguish for a big dangling meat cleaver. You chop the hock, wincing with each swing of the cleaver. You place the sliced meat in a frying pan, sear it lightly, and place it on a plate very rare, just the way your new friend likes it. You didn't know this was the way she likes it, but you surmise this is what she prefers in a piece of meat, since technically she's the one doing the cooking. You put it on the table in front of her, along with a fork and a knife beside it. Your muscles relax as you apparently are allowed to control your own body again. She does nothing except look at you with a pleased expression. You eye the meat in front of her, then the meat on the counter, and the chair on the other side of the table. What should you do? Prepare a plate for yourself? Is that what she wants you to do? Of course that's not what she wants me to do. She wants me to feed her, because she's fucking terrible. Well, it looks like you're confused. Isn't it obvious what to do next under your own volition? A good friend would know what to do. In fact, I don't think a good friend would take nearly as long to decide what the right thing to do next is. It actually seems to me that a very rude friend would hesitate for as long as you were hesitating. Or perhaps someone who's not a friend at all. You begin to sweat again. You clearly don't have much time to make up your mind. If you wait for even a few seconds longer, you will probably be guilty of being a bad friend. Maybe even a dreadful one. That's not the type of person you like to think you are. What will you do? Of course that's the only fucking option! This feels like the only obvious thing to do. She's looking at you quite expectantly. You reach for the knife with your good arm. You go for the knife with your other... Ow. You can't do that. The arm is not much less serviceable when the muscles are... It's much less serviceable when the muscles are not being forced via psychic override to disregard the pain response. Nevertheless, she looks at you patiently and smiles. That's nice of her, you think, not to be mad about it. You feel like you're growing closer to your new friend by the minute. I should have chosen the hot dog kid. I really should have chosen the hot dog kid, but I was going to do both of them anyway, so... You put the fork down and pick up the knife with your good arm. You cut the meat into several pieces with your careful sawing action. You put the knife down and pick up the fork and stab a piece. You put it close to her mouth. She seems pleased. Very good. Nice technique. Well-sized morsels, too. She chews the meat with excellent form. What? How does chewing have form? She has very good table manners, you think. When she finishes the pieces, you slice off some more and should continue. The meat looks very good. Your mouth is watering, but she doesn't offer any. Oh well, when it's the right time for you to eat too, you're sure she'll let you know. The meal's finished. There is no more meat except for a few pieces of unchewable gristle, which you did not try to feed her. That would be thoughtless. Very bad service. She reclines and steeples her fingers, looking quite pleased with how the evening has gone so far. Shitty laughter. You aren't sure why she's laughing. Did you do something funny? She's doing the evil shitty laughter. Oh my! What a fool. You point at yourself, wondering if she's referring to you. You don't know what you've done that was foolish. If so, you're also still not sure what she finds so amusing. Shitty laughter. Continuing shitty laughter. The shitty laughter subsides. Ha! She pauses her laughter for a minute or two, then slowly begins to frown. A faint blue tear rolls down her cheek from her bottom eye. Truth is, I don't even know why I'm laughing. This isn't very funny what's happening here. It was a good dinner. You did a good job, whoever you are. She puts her face in both her hands and sobs quietly. You have no idea what to do about this. You stand there, still holding the fork, feeling a bit useless. There's a lot of pressure, you know? Being so respected and admired for your high status in this world. I didn't ask for this, to be so superior to so many. Much is expected of you, much is presumed about what your personality will be before you even develop one. You work hard, and you build a brand based only on what you think people assume you should be like. Sometimes I wonder, am I even that good at being sinister? Could I be more sinister if I tried harder? Maybe this is not my true calling after all. You begin to offer words of sympathy. This all seems heartbreaking to you, your poor new friend, but your jaw muscles contract and your mouth shuts involuntarily. You guess it's not your turn to speak yet? Okay, that works for you. You like to be a good listener to your friends. But what would happen if I changed my brand? If I stopped being so sinister online? My friends and followers will deride me and reject me, and my superiors will eat me alive. If I show weakness, if I scale back my bloodthirsty content, that's a lot of eyes, will I incur the scorn of a wise-ass clown with 100 million subscribers? Will I be in a cage someday listening to a fucking fool honk his horn for likes? No. I must persist. How lonely it is to know This is all I can do until the day I leave this planet. I'll have no material or sensory comforts left for me here. Until I can get on a ship and fly away, pain is my only solace. Your hand holding the fork grips it tighter. You're horrified to realize what it is in the process of doing. You bring it down hard on her hand, which is placed flat on the table. She doesn't flinch or react in any way. 3 trails of cerulean blood flow from the tines where they pierce her skin. That wasn't friendly, you think, but then you weren't the one who did it, were you? You're so confused. My subscribers are not real friends. They adore me only for my sinister content, the show I provide, my wicked, infectious laughter. I get jealous of them sometimes because they get to watch my content. It must be thrilling, I think, but maybe I'm just jealous of them because they get to meet people who aren't me? This is fucking deep, I know. Apologies if you cannot relate. She pulls the fork out of her hand and lays it gently on the plate of gristle you didn't feed her. The people downstairs in their cages aren't my friends either. They act like they're my friends though, and sometimes I even believe it, but they don't really want to be friends with me. Nobody does. That's because you're being really shitty. I just spent like the last 25 minutes having you be shitty, and I'm having a hard time feeling bad for you right now. Weird third eye tears aside. The only person who's ever really wanted to be my friend, who's ever tried to be, is you? You clear your throat and point to yourself innocently. That's it. I've decided. You've passed the test. You'll become my friend. Officially. As such, I think your reward is in order. You're overjoyed. Your heart starts racing. You can't believe it. A new real friend! But you don't have much time to enjoy this achievement. Your body's doing something again. You bend down in a restrained motion, pick up the plate and fork. You position the plate over your wide open mouth and scrape in all the remaining gristle and begin chewing. It is virtually inedible. Your mouth humors the act of chewing for 2 seconds and then you swallow all of it whole in one painful gulp. Tastes like friendship. Okay. Do I click something? Click. Okay, so, that was the first half of Hiveswap Friendship Simulator Volume 1, where we become friends with Ardata. If she shows up in actual Hiveswap, I hope I don't have to talk to her, because she is unbelievably shitty. So the next episode, we're gonna try friendship with Hot Dog Dude, Diamond, however you say his name. Hot Dog McGee. I don't know if I'm going to do that tomorrow or Wednesday. I might as well do it tomorrow because I don't actually know what I'm going to do for the rest of the week yet. But in any case, this has been Anashi Sasuke. This has been episode 1 of Hiveswap Friendship Simulator Volume 1. If you liked it, a like and a subscribe will be groovy. If you didn't, you don't need to do either one of those things, and I will see y'all in the next one. Later.